Hey guys, Joan here, back with a beer review, and this is the start of an epic journey that I was going to start, I think, the tail end of last year when I bought 6 beers, all from one brewery, and I think I did an unboxing video if I remember rightly, and they've been in a box, and I found them the other day when I was doing some rearranging of my beer stock and now cider stock. And I need to start drinking some of these beers because some of them are getting slightly old. And certain styles of beer you really need to drink fresh. Okay, other styles of beer you don't. But I have decided to start my epic journey of Merakai Brewing Co. With this one, Respect My Personal Space. 7.2% on the ABV, and this is called an oat cream IPA, which is kind of a bit weird. Some people call it a milkshake IPA, but we will see. And like I say, it's a 7.2% beer, and I'm really hoping that this thing is going to focus. There we go. We have got Citra, Mosaic, Galaxy, Nelson Sav, and Lotus. It says drink fresh. Sorry about that, guys. It's a 440 can. It says this is a super special first birthday beer. Take it, say cheers, and drink it. Now these guys, and you can see that there's crazy artwork on there. I'll have a check of the can, see if I can work out who the artist is. But they've all got some funky pictures on there. These guys only started brewing in 2020, and I believe their main brewer, who's a guy called Ollie, and a kind of founder, I think they call him on the website. Go on their website, you can find out about them. He used to be a home brewer over in Sussex, East Sussex. Yeah, sort of in more or less in the middle of East Sussex. It's a place called Uckfield. But yeah, for the next 4 beers, I'm going to be drinking some of these. They don't mess about, let me tell you. These boys and girls, they make some serious beers. This is a honeydew glass, but I'm going to turn that to the side. Sort of more goblet style beer. Smells really lovely and fresh still, thank goodness. And yeah, an oat cream IPA. I don't think I've ever had one of those before. But yeah, there's so many hops in there, absolutely ridiculous. The reason why I've changed to this glass is because, believe it or not, this is actually a pint glass, so it's not gonna worry about a 440 can. Look at that, real juice looking. There is no way you can see anything through there. That is a finger's head. Lovely, lovely, quite tight knit, white, fluffy bubbles. It's always going to be the good sign that that is going to hang around. Some of these cans, it is hard to read the propaganda which is on there, but it has hops, yeast, gluten, barley, oats, wheat, bit of lactose, i.e. in brackets milk sugar, packaged in East Sussex. Obviously it's vegetarian friendly, which is always good. Don't drink and drive. Very nice. But it doesn't say, I don't think, who did the art. But if you go onto their website, I'm sure you can find out. Milkshake, or what do they call it? An oat cream IPA. Oh, interesting. This is not the usual kind of aroma. There are definitely hints of light kind of fruit, I guess, from the Nelson Sav. Maybe the Lotus too, although I'm not too sure about the Lotus myself. But there's also a sort of greenery going on. there's also, yeah, like a citrusy, like a lemony kind of lemony thing going on too. But this is going to be really interesting because that is quite an unusual aroma. And yes, I've had it in the fridge, so it's not going to release the aroma, perhaps as some other beers might do. But to be honest, because I've only had it in the fridge for a couple of hours, but because I've left it for a while, I didn't want it exploding. And it says it's a celebration of their first birthday, and they were started in 2020. So that's going to be 2021. So it's kind of, I guess, 6 months oldish, something like that at least. So it's not that old a bit. Anyway, cheers to your first birthday, guys. See what we get from this. Ooh, ooh, that is very unusual. Ooh, and it keeps changing in my palate, which is weird. So up front, you can tell the first thing you kind of get is kind of hot bitterness, but nicely balanced with a sweetness, which I guess is from the lacto. But there is a real creaminess there, which is not surprising. And this is not a hot bomb by any means. It's got a little bit of balance between the lacto and the hop oils, like I say, but it's not really boom in your face trying to blow your socks off. It's a mellow affair. And even though I said the sort of greenness going on, and there is in the flavour too, this is not a dank beer. It's not a really under a hedgerow sort of moss in your mouth kind of beer. It's quite light. There's a lot of fruit going on there, but it's quite a light affair. It's not like ridiculously in your face. Right, let me try and describe what's going on. So a little bit juicy, but there are nice light white fruits. That lotus, it does taste a little bit like lotus, but there's definitely the grape thing, the lotus thing. Then it descends a bit into a kind of, it's a kind of juiciness, but it's also quite sharp. Um, so it kind of wants to wash your palate, but there's a little bit of residual sharpness, probably from the hop oils. So I guess the hop bitterness is kind of winning on the balance between that and the hop oils. Then we're getting a little bit of heat because this is a 7.2% beer. I was looking at it earlier on and the 7 looked like a 1. And I was like, Jesus, this can't be a 12% beer. Obviously, that would be a barley wine, but I was like, what? Oh my God. And then when I was really looking at it hard, 7.2. So that's still reasonably strong in my book. And for an IPA, yeah, it's not super high end, but it's, I'd say that's at least a double. Quite well carbonated. As you will see, there is still some foam. Obviously, it's not a finger anymore. It's kind of more like a half or a quarter. But we are getting a little bit of lacing on that glass, which is always really nice to see. I think, and I'm almost certain, this is a feature of having the oats and the wheat in there. In the grist, in the kind of the malt bill. I was going to say hot bill, that's not right. In the malt bill, which is really nice to see. But yeah, it's so interesting that there are white white fruits instead of tropical. Now, weirdly, there is a little bit of kind of tropicalness there, which I imagined probably coming from the mosaic, but I'd say it's more a kind of citrus, lemony kind of thing going on. Cheers and beers. Oh, this is a really, really different beer. Really fresh. Then there's that kind of minor wash, kind of the citrus as it kind of washes your mouth a little bit. A little bit of residual sweetness there, as I say. Then there's that kind of hop bite as the hop oils kind of win. Really, really nice, mellow drinking. And I think if I'd had this bought for me at a pub, I wouldn't have said this is 7%. I would say 5 and a bit, 6 perhaps, but a 7.2% beer, not to be sniffed at. Although, really nice. In fact, you are getting a little booziness from on the nose now. It hasn't warmed up a lot, but I guess especially in a glass like this, the evaporation goes on. Look at that, lovely kind of lacing of the head going on. The head is still there. Really, really nice to see. I really like beers. I really like light beers that have that head retention that kind of follows you down the glass. Always, always nice to see. What else have we got in there? Galaxy hops too. Oh, I really should do a course. And for someone that drinks a lot of beers, and I drink most days, as you probably know by now, my retention for facts is not that great. And going purely from memory and learning things from a book and reciting things that other people tell you isn't, in my estimation, the way to be, because that makes you just a clone. I do totally get that education is all about kind of recycling knowledge. Wow, well carbonated. However, I always try to strive to describe my sensory kind of perception as things happen. Doesn't always work, but that's what I try to do. Instead of just what I could do is read up on the beers and go, oh yes, this beer is this and that and the other. And in fact, it would be me replying to what someone else has put on, rate beer or, something like that. And that's what I try not to do. I try and give you an honest impression of the beer. So cheers. Well, for those of you that follow the whole lacing thing, and I wouldn't say I'm a complete lacing monster, but I really do appreciate the way lacing works with the beer. And yeah, a foam that sits on top of a beer, protecting your beer from the outside world and follows it all the way down to the bottom of the glass. That, in my book, gets thumbs up, as does this beer. So now I've drunk it all. Let's have a look at that. So there's this person, lady, I guess, because it looks like he, she, or it does have some makeup on. Although it could be a dude. Has like fallen over, it looks like, and has dinosaurs kind of walking all over, Respect my personal space. Well, yes, you should do that. But at the same time, do not be afraid of personal contact with other people. Because we do live in a tactile world, and unless you live on your Oculus, super glued to your eyes, and spend your whole time in an alternate reality, um, you should be able to still reach out, use your fingers and touch someone. So I do agree that you should respect others, but also giving someone a hug, giving someone a handshake, that's something that, yeah, should be respected. Physical contact between people is, in my opinion, or can be, under the correct circumstances, a huge sign of respect and love as well. Anyway, guys, this has been Uncle Jonah. I am going to leave you on that note. See what happens when I drink a 7+% beer. I start waxing lyrical and thinking about all the good things and all the things that that people love and that kind of stuff. Cheers and biz, guys. I will see you tomorrow because I am going to do all 6 of these beers within a week and then upload them. Cheers and biz, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.